the witness's background. The witness's background is important to know because you want to understand how that expert came to be who they are. Now, the witness's background is more fundamental and basic than getting into the details of their actual qualifications. So, if I want to ask about the background, I'm more looking at who they are, where they live, the types of basic information, where they work, those kinds of simple things that give me a background to start to ask questions about what their qualifications might be, how they came to be retained. That basic background information is good to get into at the very beginning. How long they have been an expert, or how long they have served in their particular occupation. As opposed to when I get to the qualifications section, which deals more with how did they attain their certification? How do they attain the knowledge that makes it sufficient for them to be classified as an expert under the law, to be certified as an expert in their particular field? So the witness background are those underlying questions that sort of give you a picture of who the person is that you're about to be asking questions of. There might be family background. There might be other types of fundamental questions that sort of give you a snapshot of what's going on. Within the context of that discussion, we also may want to cover the qualifications of a particular witness. What gives them the type of skill set that enables them to be called an expert? That type of qualifications goes to that category I mentioned that deals with their qualifications and their expertise. That is different from the fundamental background that we're asking for when we're talking about a witness's background. Now, once we get past the witness's background, we can move either to their qualifications or we can move to how they were retained so that you can set the framework for why you would ask them about their qualifications. The interesting thing to recognize about expert witness testimony is that you do not have to go in any particular order. Chronological, or taking a witness basically from the beginning of how they got into the case through their opinions, is a very common way of doing things. But it is not required. You have to develop your own style in the way that you're handling this type of examination. The importance of our discussions today relate to the categories of questioning techniques, and then you can decide where you think you should put them. So we've covered the witness background. We now can move to either the qualifications or naturally to how they were retained.